Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Can you believe the summer replacement show for Amos and Andy in 1944 was Boston Blackie, with the star of Boston Blackie in the pictures, Chester Morris. This show, originally broadcast on June 30th, 1944, the $100,000 business note that gets called due.
10 p.m. Eastern Wartime. Your dial is set at 660 WEAF, New York.
Rinso, R-I-N-S-O, Soapy Rich Rinso presents Boston Blackie, starring Chester Morris.
Hello?
Is Mr. Manleder there?
Why, no, I'm sorry, he's not. This is his secretary, Miss Rochelle. Can I help you?
Yes, you can deliver a message for me. I've been trying to reach him all day. This is John Partridge, president of the Morton National Bank.
Mr. Partridge, but... Well, Arthur Borden is president of the Morton Bank, isn't he?
Not since yesterday, he's not. Give this message to Mr. Manleder, please. Tell him that his notes to the bank were due and payable on Monday of this week, and we must have our money.
But, Mr. Partridge, we showed our books to Mr. Borden only last week, and he agreed to extend the notes until our accounts receivable came in. Our business is in fine shape, Mr. Partridge. Our books prove it.
Please tell Mr. Manleder that we'll accept our money in the morning, Miss Rochelle.
But it's $100,000. We can't possibly raise that money overnight.
I'm sorry, that's Mr. Manleder's problem. Goodbye.
$100,000.
Hello, Gene.
Mr. Manleder, the bank just called. There's a new president, and
They want to foreclose on my notes.
How did you know?
Read this letter. I got it at the house this morning. Here, read it.
If you want to know how to prevent the bank from foreclosing on your note, have your friend Boston Blackie visit a house at 50 Hunter Street at 7 o'clock this evening. Signed, a friend. Mr. Manleder, what does that mean?
I don't know. I can't see any connection between the bank and Blackie. But I do know I won't ask him to go to Hunter Street.
Well, can we raise $100,000 for the notes overnight?
I don't think so, but I'll try. Only there isn't much hope.
Then you must call your friend Blackie.
No, it can only mean trouble for Blackie. I don't know how or why, but it must be trouble for him if I am being forced to ask him to go there.
But Blackie thrives on trouble, Mr. Manleder, and it'll save your business.
No, I won't call Blackie. I'm going out to try to raise the money. You'll hear from me later.
All right, sir. Alice, will you call a number for me, please? Get me Boston Blackie.
Tell me, Blackie, which one of these girls do you like best? So, come on, take a look at their pictures. Come on, will you?
All right, Shorty. I'll judge your personal beauty contest for you. Now, this blonde here...
Yeah.
Hold it, Shorty. I'll get the phone. Hello?
Blackie?
Yes.
Blackie, this is Jean. I had to call you. Mr. Manleder's in terrible trouble.
Hey, come on, will you, Blackie? Come on, get off that phone. I gotta know about this redhead.
Lay off, Shorty. What is it, Gene? What's the matter with Arthur?
The bank called an hour ago. I've been trying since then to reach you. They're going to take over the business if Arthur doesn't redeem his notes for $100,000 by tomorrow morning.
Well, they can't do that, Gene.
Yes, they can. The notes are overdue.
Hey, boss, what about this brunette? Now, come on, will you?
Quiet. Not you, Gene. Look, honey, I haven't anywhere near $100,000, and I wouldn't know where to go to get it by tomorrow morning.
I didn't expect you would, Blackie, but Mr. Manleder received a message saying that if you come to 50 Hunter Street at 7 o'clock tonight, the notes will be renewed.
If I go to 50 Hunter Street, well, what does that mean?
I don't know, Blackie.
But if I show up, they'll renew?
That's what the note says. Mr. Manleder knew you'd be in some kind of danger if you went, and he wouldn't ask you.
Oh, don't worry, chick. You'll hear from me. Bye.
So you finally got done. Now, come on, help me. Look at it. See, I got 50 pictures here. Pick out the one I should pin up on my wall.
I can't do anything about your pin-up problem now, Shorty. Oh. I've got something at 50 Hunter Street that I've got to pin down.
Come in, Blackie. Come in, Blackie.
Hey, what What is this? Sounds like a record. Hey, you behind that desk. You in the mask. What is this? Come on, talk.
First of all, Boston Blackie, don't try anything foolish. There's one of my men behind you with a gun. Now that you've turned around to see, let me tell you that you are listening to this recording which I made, because I don't want you to know what my voice sounds like in person.
A record, huh? Well, personally, I prefer Harry James.
Blackie, I want you to listen carefully to what follows. Have you anything to say?
Sure I have. I hope you'll... Oh!
Okay, boss. Take the record off. He's out cold. I hope I didn't hit him too hard, boss. There's no sense killing him. The law is going to do that for us very soon.
Gee, Blackie, where you been? I've been having pups.
Well, I hope they look like their mother. Well, I'm back, Shorty, only I'm not the same guy.
You should have had your head examined for going down to that Hunter Street joint.
Yes, I had it cracked. That's worse. Take a look at this, Shorty.
A bullet hole?
Yeah.
Your coat pocket. Who'd you shoot, Blackie?
I didn't shoot anybody, Shorty. Somebody slugged me, and when I woke up, my gun was gone, and this hole was in my pocket. I must have been out for hours. It's almost 11 o'clock. I called Jean, and she told me the bank renewed Manleder's notes the minute I showed up at the Hunter Street place.
Somebody sure took an awful crack at you, hey, Blackie?
Yeah, it's more than that, Shorty. Only how much more and exactly what, I don't know. Get my robe, will you, please?
Yeah, sure, boss. Give me your coat, and I'll hang it over this here chair.
Well, here it is.
Blackie, what do you make of this business this afternoon?
I don't make it. It's got me stumped.
Yeah, me too. Well, here's your robe.
Thanks. I think I'll lie down and relax for half an hour. Would you mind fixing me some coffee, Shorty?
Sure. Have it for you in just a minute, boss.
Thanks.
Hello, Blackie. Glad to see me?
Well, Inspector Faraday, of course I'm glad to see you. Which goes to prove how easy I am to please.
Very funny. Now, Blackie, I think you overdid it this afternoon.
Well, my head sure feels like I did.
That isn't what I mean. Did you ever hear of a private detective named Fred Visual?
That crooked Jamis?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, I've heard of him. And he's heard of me, too, Faraday. I got the guy's license suspended when he tried to blackmail me, a couple of friends of mine, last year.
That's the guy. He didn't like you, Blackie.
I'd feel a whole lot worse if you said Rita Hayworth didn't like me.
You didn't like him either.
I hate rats, Faraday. Come on, what's all this about?
Nothing, only Visual was found shot to death an hour ago.
What?
I'm taking you in for his murder, Blackie. Now, let's get going.
Now, look, Faraday, you've done ridiculous things every day of your life. But right now, you're borrowing from next week. What makes you think I bumped off Visual?
I don't think it. I know it. We've got your gun, and it's got your fingerprints on it.
Oh.
We found it near Visual's body. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that a bullet hole in the pocket of this coat of yours on the chair? You fired from your pocket.
Well, maybe I burned the hole with a cigarette.
No cigarette ever burned a hole like that. Now, come on, let's get going, Blackie. Get dressed and hurry up. Take off that robe, put a coat on. You're coming with me. Come on, take that robe off.
All right.
Pretty robe, isn't it? Too bad you won't be allowed to wear it in jail.
You like this robe, Inspector?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here, take a good look at it.
Lovely.
Take a good look at it. Right over your head. Shorty.
Yeah, I'm right here, boss. I was waiting for a signal from him before I counted.
Well, help me tie him up, Shorty. We'll use the cord from the rope. Now, quiet, Inspector, quiet. Don't you know it's impolite to talk with your mouth full?
You'll be tied up like a chicken in just a little minute now.
Well, I know what the score is now, Shorty. Somebody's fixed it to look like I knocked off Fred Visual.
Yeah, I heard. Ain't a very pretty picture, is it, boss?
I'm not worried about the picture, Shorty. I'm worried about the frame.
Who is it? Who's there?
Let me in, Jean. Hurry. It's Blackie.
Blackie.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry about coming to your apartment at this hour, Jean, but I couldn't reach you on the telephone.
Well, they closed the downstairs switchboard at midnight.
Oh.
What is it, Blackie? What's wrong?
I need information, Jean. I need all you know or can remember. There's some connection between a private detective named Fred Visual and somebody at the Morton National Bank. Now, who was it that spoke to you on the telephone?
The new president.
Oh.
His name is John Partridge.
Well, that's the man I'm going to see. Faraday's on my trail again, Jean, and I've got to clear myself.
Oh, you'll never be able to get into the bank to see Partridge, especially if Faraday has a dragnet out for you. As soon as you show up, they'll throw you in jail.
Oh, don't worry. I'll figure out a way to get in to see him. But if I don't get anywhere with Partridge, I'm a dead duck.
Good morning, Mr. Partridge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Howard.
Good morning.
Oh, I left you a mail on your desk, Mr. Partridge.
Thank you. I'll be in my office if anyone wants me. Don't open your mouth, Partridge, or this gun will shut it permanently.
What do you want?
Aren't you one of the special police that protects the bank?
Oh, well, don't let this uniform fool you. I wore it just to get in here. And keep away from your desk. You know, I'm allergic to the sudden pushing of buttons. Ah, that's better. Now, do you know who I am?
No.
I'm Boston Blackie.
That doesn't mean a thing to me.
Oh, I think it does. You called Arthur Manleder's office and told him the bank wouldn't renew his notes. But he received a letter saying that if I were to go to 50 Hunter Street, the bank would renew.
Maybe you know what you're talking about, but I don't.
You've got to be the man behind a pretty shrewd frame-up, Partridge. Unless you're acting on somebody's instructions. Now, which is it?
You know that if I raised my voice, you'd be shot dead by the bank guards before you could go through the front door?
Well, I'd have company, Partridge, believe me. You. Inspector Faraday thinks I killed a man. They don't hang you twice for a double killing. Why was I framed for the murder of Fred Viswell?
I don't know any Fred Viswell, and I don't know anything about any telephone call that was supposed to be made by me to Arthur Manleder.
Oh, you don't, huh? How about the renewal of Manleder's note?
There never was any question about renewing Manleder's note. His credit is excellent. The note was renewed by me personally at 10 o'clock yesterday morning with a notary attesting to the time. And that was certainly long before my alleged phone call.
Oh, you played it cozy, huh? You knew Manleder would call me, so you bluffed him.
How long are you going to make me stand here? Can't you see there's nothing I know that can help you? Why don't you go?
I will. I've got another stop to make. But the minute I leave this office, you'll call for help, of course.
Of course.
Oh, but you're not going to. You know, the only way you can do any calling, Partridge, is to talk in your sleep. Mr. Borden?
Yes?
I'm sorry to disturb you at your home. My name is Boston Blackie.
How do you do, Mr. Blackie?
I came up here to see you, Mr. Borden, about your bank.
You mean about what used to be my bank?
I'm sorry. Who decided to replace you as president?
The board of directors.
Oh, and was it done suddenly?
Yes, very.
Uh-huh. And where did John Partridge come from?
I don't know. He'd been on our board of directors only a short while.
Oh.
I'm an old man, Blackie. The loss of my bank was a blow to me. Everything came so suddenly, I hadn't gotten used to not being there anymore. Will you forgive me if I'd rather not talk about it?
Oh, I understand, Mr. Borden. I'm going to try to get your bank back for you, but I need some help. Now, here's an address where I can be reached. Oh, you must have some loyal employee at the bank you can depend on, and would you call him and get him to find out something about Partridge? And if you get any information, send me a message. And send that ring you're wearing with it so I know it's from you.
I'll send you a message if I get it, but with just a paper clip on it. I haven't been able to get this ring off in years. The paper clip will identify my messenger if I hear anything.
Good. Give me a little help. I'll turn a murder over to Inspector Faraday, get rid of the charge against myself, and give you a bank right in your side pocket. We've got to stay down here at my waterfront hideout during the day, Shorty. Every cop in town is on our tail, and Faraday's sworn he won't sleep till he brings me in.
It's okay with me, Blackie. And go ahead, it's your deal. You got me, let me see, you got me 60 to 17 and 2 boxes. Go ahead, it's your deal.
You know one thing about gin rummy, it sure passes the time away.
Yeah, it passes my dough away, too.
Okay, you two. Hoist him. Come on, Patsy.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Now, look, Blackie. Stand up and don't try nothing foolish. I know all about you and your tricks.
Well, I wasn't exactly going to ask you to pick a card. Who are you?
A guy who ain't going to be outsmarted by you.
Oh?
Tie the little guy up, Patsy.
Yeah, I'll tie him up. Good, too.
Don't talk. Tie.
I'm tying him. He ain't going to go nowhere for a while.
Okay. Now, suppose we start moving, Blackie. You ready, Patsy?
Yeah, I'm ready, Mug.
Well, of course, don't anybody ask me.
You're ready, Blackie. But you don't know for what. Now, start moving.
Oh, this is a ride, huh? Okay. One way?
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Blackie. We're coming back. Patsy and me. But we got orders to get you.
Orders to get me, huh? Dealing in the Blackie market?
You'll strain an arm reaching for jokes like that, Blackie.
I thought that was rather clever, isn't
But
it?
you might as well know something.
Yeah?
We ain't taking you on any gang ride. We're turning you over to the cops.
Yeah, I'll bet. A couple of hoods like you wouldn't go within 2 miles of headquarters. I guarantee Faraday's got charges hanging over both you guys.
Maybe. Only he'll be so glad to see you, he won't be able to think straight. All right, let's get moving, Blackie. And remember, I'm the guy that's got the gun on you.
Okay, Mug. But take my word for it, someday you're going to beg me to forget that.
Blackie, there's something natural about the way you look behind bars.
Yeah.
They look good on you.
Oh, thanks.
You've got no idea how nice it is to see you sitting so sweetly in that cell.
Now, Faraday, listen, I didn't knock off Viswell. No kidding.
Oh, of course not. And you didn't throw your bathrobe over my head and tie me up either, did you, Blackie?
Well, yes, I did do that, Faraday. You know I did. But I did it to help you.
Oh, this is going to be good. Now, tell me how.
Well, somebody knocked off Fred Viswell.
Uh-huh.
Your job is to catch murderers, Faraday. I had to be free to help you, see?
Blackie, you should have been a lawyer.
Thanks.
Only you're overlooking a slight something. Your gun. Your pretty little gun. With your fingerprints on it. And a slug from it in Viswell's head and a bullet hole in your coat pocket. Nobody else killed Viswell, Blackie. You've got no alibi. You hated the guy and your gun did the job. Looks like kind of a perfect job to me.
This is a frame-up, Faraday. Now, you've got to do something you've never done before.
Oh, what?
Use your head.
Look, you're in jail, Blackie, and you tell me to use my head. Don't you think this is a spot where you should use yours?
Well, it seems as though Inspector Faraday is about to realize a lifelong ambition and has finally found a charge against Boston Blackie that will stick. However, that remains to be seen, of course.
June 30th, 1944, Chester Morris's Boston Blackie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to MediShare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And MediShare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. MediShare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Boston Blackie, June 30th, 1944.
And now back to Boston Blackie, starring Chester Morris. Blackie is in jail. Inspector Faraday knows that it was Blackie's gun that killed Fred Viswell, and Blackie can't clear himself while he's in prison. Into the cell block where Blackie is being kept walks a young lady.
The policeman at the end of the corridor said I could come in and talk to all the other policemen in the whole jail, and you're the other policeman, so I thought I'd come over and talk to you.
All right, miss. But about what?
About the ball, of course. Everybody knows about the ball.
What ball?
The ball we're giving. But I'm selling tickets only to policemen.
Well, now I've heard everything. Selling tickets to policemen for a civilian's ball. How much are they?
$1. But the policeman at the end of the corridor said that if I came up...
Here's $1 and keep the ticket. And the next policeman is right down past this row of cells. Go bother him, will you, please?
Yes.
And don't tell me that bag you're carrying is full of tickets. There aren't that many policemen.
Oh, you're so silly. Of course not. I always carry a bag. It makes me look as if I'm always about ready to go someplace.
Well, you can go right now. I'll unlock the door. You can walk down the corridor till you find another cop at the end of it. His name's Murphy.
Isn't every policeman?
Oh, I don't know. All right, go. Go on, miss. Right down the corridor. Don't mind them mugs in the cells.
Blackie. Gene, what are you doing here? This isn't visiting day.
Blackie, listen. I've got to keep walking when the guard looks this way.
Oh, don't be silly. Come in. The door's open.
The cell door's open?
Sure, try it.
It is. Blackie, how did you do that?
Close the door. You know, I could open the cell door all right, Gene. That was a cinch. But I haven't figured out yet how to get past the guards at both ends of the corridor.
Stop figuring it, Blackie. Here, look at this bag I brought. It's an outfit that matches the one I'm wearing, only it's a couple of sizes larger. Put it on, quick.
What, and leave you in the cell? Oh, nothing doing, honey.
I'll go out the door I came in, Blackie, and you go out the other one. Only hurry. The guard might get curious.
Okay. Well, it won't take me a second. Now, first roll my trousers up, then on with the dress. Oh, you brought a wig, too, huh? You think of everything. Can I get into these shoes?
Sure you can, and hurry, Blackie.
Yeah.
Don't forget your hat.
Say, it's a cute one. All right, zip me up, will you? I'm all set.
There. Now just walk out, Blackie, and tell the cop at the end of the corridor. His name's Murphy. Tell him you ran out of tickets. Can you talk like a girl?
Oh, me? Of course I can.
Oh, you better not talk. Bye, Blackie, and luck. Meet me back in my apartment.
Oh, thanks, Jane. You're wonderful.
See you later, Blackie. You look awful cute in that outfit. Watch out for the wolves.
Oh, not me. For once, I want to be on the receiving end of a... This is the house, Shorty, 50 Hunter Street. I don't know what I'd expect to find here, but let's go in.
Why, boss?
Well, maybe I can pick up something inside that'll give me a clue to that masked man. You see any lights?
No. Nope, there ain't anybody.
Okay, now don't hit your flashlight, but we close the street door. Oh, what kind of a lock is this?
I don't know. But if you're working on it, it's an easy lock, I'll guarantee that.
No, Shorty, it's an open lock. Come on in. Shh, quiet. Hit your flash, Shorty.
Right.
Yeah, this is the room where I got conked. The masked guy sat right over there facing me with his hands folded on the table, and he... Shorty.
What? Oh, what happened?
I know now who the masked guy was, Shorty.
Yeah?
I'm going to straighten out this whole mess. Wait till I look up a number in this phone book. Let's see.
Who are you calling, Blackie?
I'm calling the murderer of Fred Biswell. Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is. Well, now let's hope I sound like a mug.
Hey, boss, this is a mug. Come right down to Hunter Street house. I got Blackie here. He's hurt.
Oh, you want to talk to him? Okay. Talk to the boss, Blackie, or you'll get it again. Here, take the phone. So you're the boss, huh? What am I supposed to do, applaud?
Give me that phone, Blackie.
Okay, boss. Yeah, that sure is Blackie, huh? Oh, you'll be right down?
Good work, eh?
Good. Yeah.
What a swell.
Okay, Shorty, now you beat it. I'm staying right here, and I'm handling this alone. But I have a job for you when you get outside.
Okay, boss.
It may decide who dies for the murder of Fred Biswell. And just between us, I'd rather it wasn't me.
I can understand that. June 30th, 1944, Chester Morris as Boston Blackie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Radio? Why should I advertise on radio? There's nothing to look at, no pictures.
Listen, you can do things on radio you couldn't possibly do on TV.
That'll be the day.
All right, watch this. Okay, people, and now when I give you the cue, I want the 700-foot mountain of whipped cream to roll into Lake Michigan, which has been drained and filled with hot chocolate. Then the Royal Canadian Air Force will fly overhead towing a 10-ton maraschino cherry, which will be dropped into the whipped cream to the cheering of 25,000 extras. All right, cue the mountain. Cue the Air Force. Cue the maraschino cherry. Okay, 25,000 cheering extras. Now, you want to try that on television?
Well...
You see, radio is a very special medium because it stretches the imagination.
Doesn't television stretch the imagination?
Up to 27 inches, yes.
She was born in a humble shack amidst the lemon groves of Goleta, California.
Mommy, don't cry. You know what they say? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I was gonna say life sucks, and then you die. But I like yours better.
And with that, Alexandra Johnson launched her lemonade stand.
Lemonade, nickel a glass.
Every day, even during the frigid California winters, a bone-chilling 72 degrees, you could find her.
You can have it sour, you can have it sweet. Little girl's lemonade will knock you off your feet.
The little girl with the sour brew wanted more, national distribution, franchises, and so she rolled out a well-budgeted advertising campaign.
Me and the rest of the dock workers only drink little girl lemonade.
She was made president of the International Sour Drink Association and chosen to give the keynote speech at their convention.
You all set with words of wisdom, honey? You know what they say, Mommy. Always advertise so consumers think of your product first. I was gonna say never swallow a lemon seed or a watermelon on your tummy.
This fabricated but interesting story is to remind you that it's called advertising and it works.
Put your message on this national advertising platform by emailing classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of Boston Blackie starring Chester Morris, the summer replacement show for Amos and Andy, June 30th, 1944.
Mug, are you in here? Mug, turn on the light. It's dark. I can't see you. Turn on the light.
Here's a light, Mr. Borden. Right in your face.
Boston Blackie.
That's right, Boston Blackie. You had a very nice frame-up all fixed for me, but I think you're going down to explain it all to Inspector Faraday now.
Do you? Well, I don't. So that phone call to me was a gag, eh? I might have known it was one of your tricks, Blackie, but I didn't. No harm done, though. I'll just leave.
Oh, just like that, huh?
Mm-hmm. And don't think you can threaten me, Blackie. As long as I'm alive, I'm a potential alibi for you. Only you and I know you didn't kill Fred Biswell and that I did. And you've got to let me live in the hope that someday I'll confess.
Yes, I guess maybe I do. Oh, you're a pretty smart man, Borden. You'd have to have me in this kind of a jam. What did Viswell ever do to you?
He thought he could outsmart me, the fool. Some private investors had him checking the books at the bank. Found that I'd taken quite a bit of money that didn't belong to me. And he thought he'd try a bit of blackmail. He didn't get very far.
Pretty thorough, aren't you?
I think so. How did you know I was the masked man, Blackie?
Well, 2 ways, Borden.
Yes?
One was the fact that I gave you the address of my waterfront hideout, and later your hoods paid me a visit down there. You were the only one that had that address. The other was that ring you're wearing. The one you told me you couldn't take off. When I came in tonight, I remembered the masked man was wearing that ring. Putting John Partridge in your place as president of the bank sounds like a wonderfully smart idea.
It was. I was tired of working, and I can throw Partridge in jail any time I like for a little embezzlement job we did. So we must do as I say. And now, Boston Blackie, let's go visit Inspector Faraday.
Well, no, Mr. Borden, I don't think I care to see the inspector tonight.
No? Perhaps this gun will make you change your mind. I happen to know that Faraday has your gun. You're still under suspicion of murder, you know. And if you try to escape, Blackie, I'll think nothing of killing you in cold blood.
I believe you would, Borden. All right, I'll go with you. I guess I'd rather be a live prisoner than a dead suspect.
Here's Inspector Faraday's office, Blackie. Walk right in. Go on.
Okay, if you say so, Borden. Hello, Inspector. Say, look, don't you ever sleep?
Oh, Blackie, I've been expecting you. You're a little late.
Would you mind telling this gentleman in back of me to get rid of his gun, please, Inspector? He doesn't realize that it's impolite to point. His name is Arthur Borden.
Okay, Mr. Borden, I'll take that gun.
Certainly. Here you are.
Well, looks like I've got a first-rate murder suspect right here in this room.
It certainly does, Inspector. Going to lock him up?
In just a minute. In fact, I might as well do it very legal and proper. Arthur Borden, you're under arrest for the murder of Fred Viswell.
What? Me? Why,
David, I wish it was Blackie, only it isn't. We've got your confession in your own voice right on a dictograph record.
A dictograph planted in my Hunter Street house?
Right.
That's impossible. Nobody could have put a dictograph in there.
You tell him, Blackie. You figured this thing out.
Well, before you came into the Hunter Street house tonight, Mr. Borden, I dialed the inspector's private number on the telephone and left the receiver off the hook, you see. I had Shorty call him before and tell him to expect his private telephone to ring. All the while you were telling me how perfectly you would frame me, the inspector was listening on this end.
Yeah, not only listening, but having the whole thing taken down on a record.
Say, Inspector, I did you a favor, didn't I, by turning up Viswell's murderer?
You did yourself a bigger favor, but what's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you, Inspector. Shorty told me you have Jean Rochelle booked here.
You said it, Blackie. She helped you escape from jail.
Well, maybe she did, but if she did, I brought you in a murderer, so you certainly owe her a favor, too, right?
Oh, maybe. What do you expect me to do, let her go?
Sure. You've held her long enough. Now it's my turn.
Be sure to listen in at this same time next week for another exciting adventure with Boston Blackie, starring Chester Morris with Richard Lane as Inspector Faraday. You can see Chester Morris as Boston Blackie at your favorite movie theater. Boston Blackie's latest Columbia picture is One Mysterious Night, soon to be released. Original music for the program was by Charles Cornell. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Rinso, and wishing you all a very pleasant good night.
The summer replacement show for Amos and Andy, Boston Blackie, June 30th, 1944 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Mike Lindell and My Pillow offering the BOGO extravaganza right now on a whole slew of My Pillow products. Now you can find all sorts of great deals on My Pillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance My Pillow, 6-piece towel sets, Roll and Go Anywhere pillows, much more, all priced buy one, get one free. Go to mypillow.com/USA, use promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175 and find you some great My Pillow products. They're all available. Oh, by the way, you can also get Mike's book absolutely free with any purchase, but you have to go to mypillow.com/USA or call 1-800-951-8175 and make sure you use the promo code, the buy one, get one extravaganza, going on right now at mypillow.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode originally broadcast June 30th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Dum 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 dum.
My, you sound gay, Claudia.
I feel gay, Mama. Oh, I wish I knew how to whistle.
Why, all of a sudden?
Oh, whistling sounds even gayer than humming. David whistles beautifully.
I'm very glad you don't know how.
You begrudge me every little talent.
I begrudge you every little talent you misuse.
Oh.
It's not ladylike to whistle when walking down the street with your mother.
I don't feel ladylike, I feel gay.
Other people manage to feel gay quietly.
Not the same thing at all. How do you like my haircut, Mama?
Not bad.
Is that all?
Well, for the 2 hours you spent in that beauty shop, I expected to see something quite breathtaking.
David doesn't like breathtaking haircuts. He likes me to be my own sweet, simple self.
I didn't know you were sweet, too.
Oh, yes, I get it from you. Was I really at the hairdresser's 2 hours?
Yes, you were, indeed. Tell me when you get tired.
Oh, I never get tired.
Well, I do, so I'll tell you.
I feel wonderful. Am I supposed to feel wonderful just before I'm going to have a baby?
I was like that.
Mama, let's walk by the zoo. I'll show you David's favorite elephant.
Tilly?
Yes. David has been in love with Tilly since he was 7 years old. Do you know that?
I'm not surprised. We'd better cross the street while there's a red light.
Mommy, you do not have to hold my arm. I've crossed streets before.
And don't think I haven't worried about them. There's the curb.
I see it. Really, you think that having a baby is making me blind and dumb.
Not blind.
Very funny. It's only another half block to the zoo. I haven't been there since the day David and I came together for the first time. It was fall then. Leaves are turning red.
They're a nice full green now.
Not as green as Eastbrook. Nothing's as green as the green on our farm.
The pride of ownership.
I'm seeing the world through green-colored glasses. I remember when David and I came to the zoo, we'd just moved into our first apartment.
You were pretty lucky to find it.
Weren't we, though? Just a block and a half away from you. It seemed like miles. Now we live in Eastbrook. Doesn't seem so far away somehow.
Small wonder, seeing as how I've been in Eastbrook almost as long as you have.
Now we're back with you. It's as if the clock had gone all the way around to noon again. Did you think we'd own a farm when we moved out of your apartment, Mama?
No more than you did.
David's really happy on the farm.
You're a lucky child to be able to see your husband so happy.
I know. Here's the zoo, Mama. Oh, I wish David were along. We'll have to give his regards to Tilly.
Does she recognize David?
Oh, yes. She bellows like crazy when she sees him. Throws her trunk around as if it were light as little valise. There she is. See? Right over there behind those bars. Children love Tilly.
I can see why. She's a sweet little elephant.
Hello, Tilly, Tilly, Tilly. See? She knows me.
I think she thinks you're something to eat.
Tilly, David sends you his regards. Look how happy she looks when I mention David's name.
It seems to be a universal reaction.
I think it's true about elephants.
What is?
But they never forget. Tilly, have you got a message for David?
Don't tell me. I know. She's sending him her regards.
Oh, you're smart, too.
Now, come along. I haven't got all day to spend conversing with a silly elephant.
Poor little silly Tilly. Well, Mama's dragging me off. Goodbye.
I hope none of those children heard you. I'd be embarrassed.
Not at all. Children understand about elephants.
Children and wise men. Now, do you want to take a taxi?
I do not. I want to walk down to the pond. Oh, it's just a few yards further along, Mama.
What is at the pond?
Children sailing boats. Nurses pushing baby carriages. There used to be something else at the pond.
Go on. What reincarnation are we living through now?
At the pond that David and I bought the hurdy-gurdy.
One is enough. There's no reason why we should buy another just for the sake of memories.
Couldn't possibly buy another even if we wanted to. Poor old Dominic. He was so sad that day. Snow was snowing and the wind was
winding.
There was Dominic playing his hand organ for the last time. He hated to sell it to us, but he needed the money to go back to Italy since his monkey died. But it's nice our having the hand organ, isn't it?
Oh, marvelous. I don't know what we'd have done without it.
I'll sing the baby to sleep with it. That's what I'll do.
Somebody seems to have taken Dominic's place.
It's funny. I'm sure Dominic never had a son.
Hurdy-gurdies are nice. You rarely hear them around New York anymore.
It's a shame. Children were skating on the pond the day David and I were here together.
It's June now. There's no ice on the pond.
Mama, I can't believe it. Look who it is.
No one I've ever seen before.
Mama, do you know who it is? It's Dominic.
I thought he was in Italy.
Well, he should be. He said he really wanted to be. It was the reason we bought his hand organ. And look, he's got another monkey with it.
Maybe Josephine had a son.
Dominic! Hello!
Hello! Well, if she's not the lady who loves the good music.
Dominic, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be sitting in the sun in Italy by now.
Oh, lady, I just not could go. You give it to me the money so nice, and Dominic, he's a mind is all make him up. He's going to sail away to Italy, eh?
But what happened? Who is this sweet little monkey?
That's just the story, lady.
Oh, isn't she sweet?
I'm a walking down at 3rd Avenue, and I'm a passing by the pet shop. And in the little pet shop is a little monkey, eh? She looks just like Josephine.
She does.
The same eyes, the same smile, the same sweet look. Dominic, I'm say to myself, you got the money, eh? You must have the monkey, too. So, I'm buy the monkey. She's called Josephine II.
I don't blame you, do you, Mama?
I've always been rather fond of monkeys, thank goodness.
And then, when I have the monkey, I'm say to myself, I'm say, Dominic, she's almost the spring. The wind, she's go away. The snow, she's a melt. The sky, she's a blue. And the trees, they are green. It is just as beautiful in the spring in Manhattan, just like in Italy, no?
No,
and
yes.
The bambini, they come back in the park. And then Dominique is no here. They would be so sad. So Dominique is come back.
And I'm glad, even if we're not here to listen to your music. It's nice to think of the children in the park all around you. Go on, play your music, Dominic. Everybody's waiting. And Mom and I have to get home.
Oh, I'm a play all of the time because it gives to me joy in the heart and it makes the heaven just a little bit closer. Please, lady, give my love to your husband.
I will.
And when you play your hand organ, many, many rich blessings come to you, eh?
We are being blessed, Dominic. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Arrivederci, signora, arrivederci. Dio vi bendica, eh? Goodbye.
Bye. I'm glad he didn't go to Italy. I think we need a few more Dominics around.
Now, will you take a taxi?
A second, Mama. There's another place I'd like to see.
Your father was a sentimental man, too.
He was? Men don't like to admit it, do they, Mama?
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
You're not. So why should I be?
I'm not sentimental. I'm anything but.
Oh, of course. Mama, did anyone ever tell you that behind that crusty exterior of yours beats a sentimental heart?
Nobody ever told me, and nobody ever will.
All right, Mama, I won't tell you. Never again.
Claudia, where are you dragging me now? We're out at the park. We're standing on 5th Avenue. There are any number of taxis we could take.
What's that across the street?
A nice, shiny, new yellow and green cab.
What's that behind it?
Were you and David here, too?
One night when David was feeling blue, we weren't married very long. I think we were still living with you.
I remember the night.
We took a walk. We came down 5th Avenue, walked up all these steps, stood for a moment in this cathedral. The arch is vaulted high. It's dark. Do you mind, Mama?
I'd like to go in.
David and I stood, listened that night, too. For that moment, the world seemed simple again. We could look ahead and know whatever happened, we'd find the courage, the trust, to believe in it. What is it about a cathedral, Mama?
The finest ones are not built of stone.
I'd like to repeat that to David. Let's go home now. Here we are, Mama. You awfully late?
It's a good bit after 6:30.
Oh, I hope David isn't home. He'll be frantic.
Claudia! Claudia, is that you?
He's home.
And frantic. It's Mama, too, David.
Where have you two been? I've been frantic.
Hello.
I telephoned Dr. Rowland. He hadn't heard from you. I called the hospital. You weren't there. I was just about to call the police.
David, darling, there's nothing to be excited about. We're fine.
I thought certainly the next I'd see of you would be an 8-pound boy.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Well, I am disappointed. I didn't know what had happened to you.
Nothing happened, David. Claudia and I had a lovely afternoon.
No, I'm glad you had.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh.
I certainly don't want to go through another half hour like this last one.
I'm sorry, darling.
How would you like it if I were about to have a baby and I disappeared off into the wild blue yonder nowhere?
Well, now that's impossible.
Well, you're just lucky it is. It'd serve you right if I did exactly the same thing that you did.
Oh, darling, listen, please don't be angry. We had such a lovely afternoon.
Well, I'm not angry. I'm just a little upset, that's all.
Well, don't be upset either.
All right. All right, I won't be upset. I'll even forgive you.
Oh, good.
I'll even forgive you so far as to say I'm glad to see you.
Well, that's even better.
So glad to see you that I'll even ask you where you've been.
Oh, David, I'm so glad you asked.
Well, where have you been?
Why, darling, I've been with you. La 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 la.
Many jobs are more exhausting in summertime because they generate so much heat. That's why Coke coolers are particularly popular these warm days. What's true in factories and shops is just as true in your home. Take ironing, for instance. It might not seem particularly warm in midwinter, but in midsummer, that's a different story. Remember next time you'd like a delicious cooling-off period that you have a Coca-Cola cooler right in your own kitchen, your refrigerator. Keep it well stocked with Coke, and you can stop when the spirit moves you to enjoy the pause that refreshes.
Are you a zoo fan, Mr. King?
Indeed I am, Mrs. Brown. Got a special little giraffe all my own.
I enjoyed meeting David's elephant this afternoon, and Dominic and the rest of Claudia and David's past. Now, I just wish I knew a little more of their future.
You'll know a great deal more about it tomorrow, Mrs. Brown.
I will?
Yes, indeed, because tomorrow begins the event you've all been waiting for so impatiently.
You mean?
All I can say is you'd better start packing Claudia's overnight bag and keep that hospital phone number handy.
If this is a false alarm, Mr. King, I'll never forgive you.
Well, you'll find out tomorrow. Till then, so long, Mrs. Brown. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
Okay, admit it. It is not like a regular soap opera that we've grown so fond of. We played Rosemary on the show a few days ago. That was a much more traditional soap opera. Yeah, Claudia gets sappy. Claudia gets schmaltzy every so often. But you know what? It is a very sweet show. Claudia, June 30th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Wouldn't you like to have a life like that today? Actually, I think I do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank this station. Support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. Our shows are available at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Or you can also go to my webpage, which is classicradio.stream. You can stream the shows there. Get a whole list of everywhere you can find our show on demand if you want to get it through an app. You can also contact me there, and you can also use a function called Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, but if you want to buy me a coffee or Dr. Pepper, I'll also use that revenue that you get through Buy Me a Coffee to find us some more great radio shows, because they're out there. I just got to find them. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.